Hello and welcome to your local note. We got a full house tonight. We got the Band of Rivals. They'll be hanging out with us. We're going to be talking with them about their music. We'll be playing their music, and we'll be asking them about their songs and how the band got together. All that stuff coming up in just minutes. All right, coming up in just a couple minutes, talking with the guys and gal from Band of Rivals, and we'll be talking about their album, The Ladder, The Ghost, and The Water. We're going to start off with Ghosts of You on yourlocalnote.com.
Say that you need a friend, one not afraid of anything but God or the devil could not break you down. So you go for a walk in the woods, say you're not afraid of anything but the ghosts in the hall sure look a lot like you. Like you, my love, just like you.
This is yourlocalnote.com, and that's Band of Rivals, and the song is called Ghosts of You from their album The Ladder, The Ghost, and The Water. Guys, welcome to Your Local Note.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate you coming down and spending some time with us. Let's real quickly introduce yourselves and what you do with the band. We'll start over here.
My name is Greg. I play drums and percussion.
My name is Alex Michael. I play guitar.
I'm Abbey, and I do violin, keys, and vocals.
I'm Doug. I play bass and guitar on one song.
And I'm Sean. I sing and play guitar and banjo.
All right. How did the band get together? Who wants to take that story?
Abby.
Me.
All right, Abby. How did these guys get together?
So three of us, Alex, Michael, myself, and Sean, went to the same college.
Okay.
Not at the same time.
What college would that be?
Eastern University, our little alma mater.
Okay, very nice. Well, it's good to give them a shout out.
Yeah. I was the oldest one of the group.
Okay. You didn't have to say that, but that's okay.
Came back to do a play, actually, called 12th Night, where we came together, and the three of us were a traveling band.
Okay.
And Sean's going to take it from there. He knows more about 12th Night than me.
Okay.
So it was the director of that particular production was he took it in a different direction, so he made it in like a Civil War setting.
Okay.
So what he had the three of us do is we were members of this Confederate unit band, and he actually dubbed us the Band of Rivals. That's what he called us in the script and what he called us in the playbill. So we completely yanked that with his permission.
I think that's good. It sounds good. It
Yeah,
stands
we
out.
thought it worked.
How difficult? I mean, the big thing with bands is once they come up with a name, you then have to Google it.
Oh yeah.
So did you have that issue? No one else had that, Band of Rivals?
Not that exact.
So it's
Yeah.
Band of Rivals, not the Band of Rivals.
It's the Band of
It
Rivals.
is the band. Okay. I get it wrong again. It's a 50-50 shot. I took it.
I say it
And
both
I
ways.
got wrong. I was wrong. Okay, no big deal. Okay.
We had a conversation about it though. Should it be the band or just band?
It is the Band
It
of
is
Rivals.
the Band of Rivals.
Okay, good. On the tweets, I kept saying Band of Rivals.
We're not mad.
Nice. Nice. Okay, very cool. And then when did the other two get into the band?
So I also work at a church where Greg is the drummer. So
Okay.
we started playing a couple little gigs, and I said, "Hey guys, I know a drummer." So Greg got in, and then Doug, you went to high school with Alex Michael.
Yeah, because all right, when I came back from Pitt, I wanted to form a band, and I looked at who from my high school area still played and gigged, and Alex Michael was always renowned as the best guitar player in our high school.
Okay.
So I just wanted to be in a band with him.
Okay.
So we started to hang out a bit, and then he's like, "I'm playing this gig in 2 weeks. Do you want to join or come in and play?" And then that's how I got
That's
in
how
the
we
band.
got.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was drinking at the time.
It happened at the Berwyn Tavern.
Bourbon Tavern.
It was.
And I saw Doug there, and I was like, "Hey, you still play bass? Cool, let's do this gig."
Nice. Okay. Well, there have been stranger stories.
Yeah.
How bands got together. So that's good. All right, let's talk about the first song, "Ghosts of You." Who wrote it, and what is it about?
That was me.
All right, Sean, let's talk about it.
I'll move this on. So I guess that came about after we had finished our first project together. That song came pretty much right after that. So by the time we got around to recording this, it was one of the first ones we wanted to get to. Mm-hmm. We've been playing it for a while. And it's just kind of one of those typical embittered songs where somebody no longer has contact with someone else, and they keep seeing the image of that person everywhere they go, and keeps kind of haunting them. So
is this something that you took from a real life experience, or is this something that it was just an idea and you created a story around it?
I think it was more just a fictional thing. I usually most of the stuff I write with our band it's either comes from a story or it's just something I make up, and then it's influenced by real stuff. Not this one though.
So for the most part, you would classify yourself then as a storyteller.
Yeah,
Sean loves to read.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Loves to
I
read.
hope
It's
I'm a
awesome.
storyteller.
Well, that's good, and it's interesting. I'm always fascinated with the songwriters and how they put songs together. And there are some people that we've run across who, if they haven't lived it, they can't write about it. And then there are other people who have no problem, like Sean, who can just take an idea and then start putting something together. And I think both ways are very effective. And so that's very cool. So, Sean, do you write most of the songs?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
do you come to the band and say, okay, here's my idea, let's play with this? Or do you come in and say, here's a song and this is how it's going to go?
I think that's been the coolest thing with the evolution of our sound has been when I first met everybody, when we first started playing together, I had a fully formed song and pretty much a good idea of what the parts should be relatively, and then it was kind of leaving it up to them to take it further with their own ability. But I think what's great about it, and now why it's so much better on this new CD, is now I just get a song to the point where it's the format's there, or the skeleton, I like to think, and I think really leave it to everybody else to create their own part to it.
I mean, is it difficult? And I know obviously you've known three of the members for a number of years. Is it difficult then to come in with a full song and say this is the way it's going to be, and knowing that they may have some ideas to change it? To listen to them, because it is your baby when you put something together like that. So, I mean, is it more difficult with that than it is to come in with just more of a skeleton and have them fill in the blanks?
Yeah, I think it was a good education I had with working with these guys, because all my past projects, I had to do all that.
Right.
There wasn't an option for people to collaborate. I had to have the songs, or we really had nothing to work through. So Yeah, it was an adjustment, and I think I kicked and screamed a little bit, but it's all for the better, I think. So I really like where it is now. I like to have the skeleton.
Okay, good, because right now I'm going to put everyone else.
Right, yeah.
No, I'm kidding. So, I mean, the process then of putting the songs together is evolving.
Yes.
And do you all feel then that you're, we'll start with Greg, as far as having more input than just drums, is that something you're feeling more comfortable with talking about?
Yeah, it's pretty cool because I think recently we've been able to, Sean will have a riff and we'll be able to sit down and just jam on it. And over the past, I don't know, probably several months, we've been able to probably take the songs outside of maybe where he was comfortable with, and he'll put an input in like, all right, can we maybe get brushes there? Or kind of, he'll give me like a tone that he wants. But I pretty much have free reign, maybe like a halftime feel would feel really good there.
Okay, so it's now a discussion as far as how the song should
exactly.
go.
And one thing that's cool about it is the Band of Rivals, we're all influenced from so many different musicians.
Okay.
We really put our own kind of background into it.
Got it.
And it's almost like kind of mini rivals, like rivaling each other,
right,
with our own kind of influence, making this huge collective of beautiful music.
So
wow, great, that was great.
That should be the bio on the song.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Write that down.
We'll lift that and send that to you guys. So you can have that. Maybe you can put that up on a banner behind drums, something like that.
There you
go. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna play the second song, but we're going to come back and continue talking about how you guys put your songs together and things like that. And of course, Abby, we're going to ask you how it feels to be in a band with all guys and how difficult that is dealing with the children. Okay, next song is called Rust. It's from the album The Ladder, The Ghost, and The Writer, and this is the Band of Rivals on yourlocalnote.com.
I heard what you said. The flowers were dead, the grass grew tall underneath the willow tree. You and me talked on through the night, and you said the words that I probably should. Hold you in these rusty arms again. And I fell asleep with you clutching at my chest. We lay in the shadow of the moon. Time moves so slow. The seeds we sow flourish in the sun. As for me, against history, I will be covered by the lawn. And I heard the words that I probably should. Settle down and harvest from the earth. And I'll till the ground underneath the sun and stars. sweetheart lay me down.
Song is called Rust. The album is The Ladder, The Ghost, and The Water. And the Band of Rivals is who we're talking with tonight. This is yourlocalnote.com. Thank you so much for joining us. And all right, Sean, we'll talk to you because I have a good idea that you wrote this song.
Yeah.
All right. What is this about? It's sort of struck me as a little bit of a sad song.
Yeah, it's actually, this is a nice little split down the middle between fiction and fact.
Mm-hmm.
So the fiction is a book called East of Eden by John Steinbeck.
Mm-hmm.
So there's these two people that meet towards the end of the book, and they have this really nice relationship. So it's set against that Salinas Valley, California. And
Okay.
so I took that imagery of their kind of love story and applied it to mine with my fiance. So it's
Aw.
it's for them a sadder story. For me, it's a
Nice,
song.
okay. Well, a
But it's
group
somber.
everybody.
So one of the few. love songs.
Very good. Let's get back to the rest of the band as far as putting a song like this together. Alex, Michael, you get approached right now, or do you just listen and say, okay, here's what I think when it comes to the songs
I think
now?
it's like an evolution because you kind of play it as Sean, because Sean will usually write on guitar, sometimes banjo, and I'll kind of play the chords as he plays it. And then because Sean's singing, personally, usually I try to find different voicings and different ways to approach the song with melodies that kind of overlap with it. But then you don't really know until the end when everything else is in there, because then Abbey will add harmonies in, you have the bass line, the drums might have a specific part, but there's definitely an evolution to when he brought this song into us. It sounds totally different. The
Right.
lyrics are there, the chords are there, but then
Right.
the overall texture is much different. And it's, like I said, and like even tomorrow night we're going to play this song and we have a whole other section that we're adding to it.
Oh, okay.
So, we need to practice that.
That's okay. That's a nice thing to throw in there. Practice? Yeah. Allen Iverson didn't need practice. So what? You got practice? Who needs practice? Now, Doug, as part of the rhythm section, do you work a lot with Greg and when the songs come out or approach?
I mean, basically, it's Al is the captain of the rhythm section, and then Greg and I are together.
Okay.
Just because, as bass, I want to pay attention to exactly what Greg's doing and try and do my best to kind of match up
Right.
what I'm doing as well.
Right.
And it's interesting being in a five-piece because, you don't want to overplay, you want to leave room, so it's a very... it's a fine line between playing the right notes and playing too much.
Okay. So so do you then have a lot of discussions as far as am I playing too much, or should I have they ever asked you to you need to be a little bit more aggressive? Does that happen?
I think it's more just tone it down. I've gotten but well, you guys don't like Primus. No, I mean, I think early on I might have been a little upset where it'd be like pull back, but then you got to think like, oh, there's another song where I'll have more to do on the bass, but it's just leave the room, let the song breathe.
Okay, very good. Now, Abbey. Usually we like to go ladies first, but this one I want to give you wide latitude here. As the only woman in the band,
Yes.
how difficult is it to deal with the boys? I mean, do you find yourself sometimes just looking around going, okay, can we get above 12 years old?
She's really one of the guys. She
They're
is.
really pretty good for the most part. I think
Okay.
the hardest thing is at the beginning of practice when I come in. They're all just jamming on songs.
Purple Haze.
Yeah, I have no idea what there are, and they get mad because I don't know them. No, they do great, and I think we work well together.
Now you add vocals.
I do.
So do you work with Sean mainly on where you should come in and?
Yeah, a lot of it. He'll say, maybe add this part, or I hear it here. But I like that we've kind of gotten in sync with what we hear, and I feel like we flow pretty well together. So I'll maybe sing something, and I'll be like, "Is that okay?" And he's usually in agreement. A couple times we've been like, let's scratch that.
Okay. Do you get input from the rest of the band saying,
Yeah, for how different our musical styles are, I think that we all work well together, and we're usually in sync with what we're thinking.
Okay.
You know, I might say, Alex Michael, why don't you take that lead instead of me?
Okay.
Or I'll be like, hey, I'm going to do this here. Don't play that because you're stepping on my toes or whatever. So I think usually we hear that.
You all of you have mentioned a wide variety of influences. So we'll stay with you, Abby.
Oh, boy.
Influences.
I have to say, you know, and I hate using this, but Dave Matthews was like, I know, and I don't even, I hate using it. But when I was younger, that was like the first band I ever heard that had like a prominent violin, and I hate to use them as a reference.
And got you interested.
But it did, because I up until that point, I hadn't really heard bands that had a violin that had a distinct voice.
Okay, let her explain.
I'm sorry.
And I can't even tell you the last time I've listened to Dave Matthews.
Okay, let's not bash Dave Matthews at the same time. But at the same time, I understand. Okay, so Dave Matthews, anybody else?
I mean, I loved, trying to think like young, back when in the day, I loved like Sarah McLachlan and some of those female vocalists and things like that. But I was very much into classical music. I mean, I was raised studying classical music, so until I kind of got out of college, I was exposed to some other really cool bands and the live music scene and things like that.
My impression is classical music gives you a great background to leap into everything.
It does.
Because it covers so much, and it's difficult, and you got to practice a lot, so it gives you just a fantastic foundation, and you can basically go wherever you want.
Yeah.
Is that a good perception?
Yeah, it definitely helps with your intonation as well, being a string player.
Okay. Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Greg?
Yes.
Influences.
Influences. Actually, recently it's kind of been all over the place, but I've been on a Steely Dan trip.
Okay.
Like none other. And just some of the patterns, like Bernard Purdie has the shuffle pattern. Omar Hakim, he's played with Sting. He's played with Michael Jackson. These guys do an amazing job of setting in, maybe playing kind of like a polyrhythmic groove, but making it groove, basically. You know, they all have chops. They can solo for days, but making it jive, being able to bob your head to it, that's pretty much what I've been focusing on the past couple months. Little John Roberts, he's a Philly guy. He plays with Janet Jackson, and he just did some kind of symposium over at the U of Arts in Philly, and just a really great job of explaining, like, play the pocket, play it tight. Everyone has chops, but no one wants to dance to chops. Just keep it in time, keep it simple, make it groove, basically.
Okay, Doug?
I would say my biggest influences are Ween, Primus, the Pixies, Butthole Surfers, and Pink Floyd.
Okay.
He's ready for that one.
Yeah.
Alex Michael?
I grew up on, like my brother grew up in the 90s, so I heard a lot of Pearl Jam and Nirvana, and then like Mudhoney and Mother Love Bone, like all these old school 90s bands. And then after he was out, I got into like Dream Theater and like Guthrie Govan and like all these like crazy guitar players. And then now, I mean, it's like anywhere from that heavy metal stuff to like Alan Holdsworth and like more fusion players and stuff like that. So all over the map.
All right. Sean?
Mine was really cool because my dad just has an incredible record collection. And so for me, like I started singing pretty late. Like when I was 15, 16, I started like trying to sing. So I was playing guitar for a couple of years just as a guitarist. So initially it was like Stevie Ray Vaughan and Jimi Hendrix and Allman Brothers Band and like Southern rock and blues. And as a songwriter, it's evolved into people like Neil Young and Amos Lee and even Dave Matthews to an extent. the style and
Got a good band.
Doug,
yeah.
Calm down, Doug.
But definitely blues too.
Okay. Now, the style of music that you guys have talked about and what you do as a band, it's a little different. Is it a tough adjustment, or are you happy with the way things are, or do you feel that this is a stage and you're growing as musicians? Let's start with Greg on this one.
It's tough to really classify it as folk. I think it comes from like a folk setting, a folk background, but I think it's evolved so much and we're letting it grow, and I think it's still evolving. If you listen to our first album, Better Angels of Our Nature, It's much more laid back. Lot of harmonies in it, and this new album is just a huge step forward from that, from where we've progressed musically with our practice. So it's just growing and growing from what I can tell.
All right, Doug?
No, I mean, that's the thing. Our music is really changing a lot, and it is a lot of fun where it's like before it was very much like we were just your backing band. But now, everyone's gotten better. Well, I've probably gotten the best because I get to play with, well, not the best, excuse me.
Wait, second part.
I've improved the most because
Okay.
I've gotten to play with such talented musicians, is what I meant to
Nice.
say.
Okay, that's good.
So modest.
Yeah.
Right after Greg. That's right after Greg's line. That's a good line.
song now?
Right underneath.
No, it's true because, we played in Alex Michael's senior recital at Eastern where we're doing, jazz tunes. And, I just said what my influences are, and it's mainly 4/4.
Yeah.
So going to different time signatures, it's great.
Okay, Alex Michael.
I think, well, not to speak for Doug, but I think he doesn't add too much of what he listens to into the band. He always stays in the pocket. I feel like sometimes Greg and I kind of throw things in there that we've been practicing just for the sake of well, maybe we could try this out here, and maybe Sean will notice, and maybe he won't. And,
When I don't notice, it stays in.
yeah, exactly. When he doesn't notice. So I think I don't know. Is that? No, I completely agree. So from that standpoint, it all works together really well.
Okay.
We all know how to just tone back.
Okay.
We're still learning how to tone back and stay.
Is that part of the fun of it?
It is the part of the fun.
Learning
And
something
that's
brand
part
new?
Of being a musician, because we all have different things that we do too musically. So
Okay.
to be able to come here and be like, this is sort of the job that
Right.
we need to do. And
Right.
It's not a job, but it's because it's a lot of fun. But,
Okay.
So yeah.
All right, Abby.
I forget what the question was. This is the style I love playing in.
Okay, you
I love fiddle, I love folk, so I'm 100% for it.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm it's getting a little too rock, guys. We need to bring it back. I don't know if they would agree with that. I feel like Sean and I are the folkies, and the rest
Okay.
of them are the rockers.
Okay. And Sean, how do you keep this all together then? Knowing some members of your band and what their influences are, do you allow them latitude as you go with different songs, or as you're writing a song? Do you take into consideration some of the influences and experience of your band members?
Yeah, and I think what's great about kind of how everybody's talking about their own approach is, as you guys were saying, when they add things they might be practicing that are more in the vein of jazz or progressive stuff or fusion, what's cool about that is then we're setting ourselves apart from the typical folk sound, which is, if we have a more ballady, country-sounding song, you would expect, like a Telecaster, real twangy. But then Alex Michael comes in with something really interesting tone-wise, and I feel like that's a strength because we're setting ourselves apart from that generic sound people are starting to get a little used to. I like to call it the Mumford effect. That people expect when they see a
Right.
banjo and a fiddle,
Right.
they're going to get that the whole set.
Right.
But we can go because
Back
of our
and forth.
abilities.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get fired, to be totally honest.
Just trying to push till it's enough.
I can tell you after the show how to get fired. Okay. All right. Let's go to the third song, Dust to Dust, and we'll come back and we'll talk about where people can find your music and where you guys will be playing in the future so people can see you live. All right. The song is called Dust to Dust. It's the Band of Rivals. Their album is The Ladder, The Ghost, and The Water, and this is yourlocalnote.com.
Call me a friend of the devil. Suppose it's fine by me. Robbed some trains back in my day, and son, it was a sight to see. Hear that bell tolling, calling out my name. Never cared much for whiskey, couldn't stand much gin. Had a wife back in Reno, but she don't know the shape I'm in. Won't you spare me your vanity? Spare me your sermons too. 'Cause I'm about to have the devil's own day. I think I'm gonna start with you. Hear that bell tolling, calling out my name. I'm old and frail now. One thing before I go down there and you tell her that I'm 6 feet below.
All right, the song is called Dust to Dust. The album is The Ladder, The Ghost, and The Water. And we're hanging out with the Band of Rivals on yourlocalnote.com. All right, Sean, what is this song about? Dust to Dust. I mean, are we talking about a funeral here? What's going on? Kind of, okay.
It's a fun one. So this was, I was on this kick that I really wanted to write a song that was kind of a tribute to Son House in particular, and also Robert Johnson and the old blues guys. So I was thinking of what's the perfect type of story, and I was, with that riff, I was hearing a Western feel. So it's just an old train robber who says, I have this lady I married that I don't like, so go tell her I'm dead. That's pretty much the whole song.
Okay.
So it cuts to the bone there. Yeah, it's a love story.
Okay, go tell her I'm dead.
Yeah,
that's okay.
By the time you get to her, I'll be dead.
Very nice. All right, let's talk about where you guys, as far as your music is concerned, where people can find it. Obviously, we've got it below the player. You've got YouTube channel. You've got Facebook, Twitter,
and the bandofrivals.com.
Okay, there we go. So we got it all. So if they go to one of those sites, they're going to find your music. But you did have something you wanted to talk about specifically with the YouTube and PBS. What's going on with that?
Yes, so what was it, 2 weeks ago or something like that? We recorded a special for PBS as part of the Steel Sessions.
Okay.
And that was the wildest experience because it's just like, we're on the TV. It was pretty exciting.
Okay.
Yeah. But it really highlighted how we're just a bunch of creepy dudes without Abbey. So that was...
She wasn't there.
Oh, you weren't there?
Yeah.
Oh.
Abby,
sad.
you were on your honeymoon.
I was.
Oh, well,
so that's
a good excuse.
Yeah.
And congratulations, by the way. And Sean, you're getting married soon?
Yeah, beginning of October.
Nice. Well, good luck with that.
Thank you.
Okay, very good. Where are you guys playing live anytime soon?
Greg.
You're great.
We have a show in Ardmore, actually, at Melody's Cafe, right on Route 30 across from Ardmore Music Hall. We've played there before. We did an album release party there, I guess about a year ago, and actually packed the place. It's cool. It's BYOB. Chip Breakers are opening for us.
They're great.
We met them at Bourbon and Branch
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
This guy, Paul, I'll let Doug talk about Paul. He did a phenomenal job doing a whole month thing there. So
Yeah, Paul, he plays under the name the Captain, the Pilot, and the Driver, and he had a residency at Bourbon and Branch, and we were part of the first night of bands to play. Did 4 shows. They were all really cool. A lot of great bands from the scene, like Lou and the 60s, I think, were there, but I'm not positive on that one.
Okay.
But he's a really great guy that we met at Bourbon and Branch. Another show, he came out and saw us, then invited us to record a song for Philly Free Song Friday.
Nice. Very nice. Okay. Any other shows coming up?
Not yet.
Not yet.
It's
Yeah.
very abnormal.
Oh, well, I would think after October you're going to be lying low for a couple weeks.
That's true.
Yeah.
We had a busy couple of weeks because we did the PBS special. We played in Westchester that same night, and then we did the Philly Folk Festival on
nice.
Saturday.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
It was Yeah, bang, bang, bang.
Recoup.
Okay, so taking a breather,
The
and
summer's
then
been good, so
later in the fall, it will kick back.
absolutely. Yeah.
Excellent. Very good. All right, guys, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank
we
you.
really appreciate
Thanks.
it. This has been a lot of fun. Let's talk about the last song, Face of Narcissus. Is this autobiographical? No, I'm kidding.
It is. That's usually how we introduce it. So
It's about me. It's not.
It's about Alex Michael.
Let Alex
Go-
Michael tell the story.
Go
I
ahead.
know, because I'm not very good with the lyrics. I love this is probably one of my favorite songs because I get to mess around with a lot of different guitar tones on it. And Sean, we had this really cool rhythm with for like different hits in the beginning that the rhythm section does. But if you want to learn about the actual content of the lyrics, I would defer to Sean.
Okay.
Or Greg. Or John.
Okay.
Anyone but Abbey.
10 quick little blurb. It's just the tale in Greek mythology about Narcissus. So he falls in love with himself while looking in a pond, and this girl's kind of pining away after him, and he won't notice her. So she's
Okay.
heartbroken.
All right. Very nice. It's about you.
But it is about.
And it's cool because our album cover is kind of based off of
Yeah,
this
that
song.
image is kind of that mirror.
Very good. All right, guys. Thank you again so much. It was great hanging out with you.
Thank you.
If you missed it or somehow you want to see this again, this will be. That wasn't too smooth, was it? Let me try that again. If you'd like to see this again, because it was so great,
Nice full head, man.
it's going to be on our site starting Monday morning.
Cool.
All right. Again, thank you, and I appreciate the fact that you didn't give me too much of a hard time. But we will be back again. I don't have anyone set, but I've got several people who want to come in. So the next vidcast is to be determined, but it looks good that we'll have something next week. All right. Again, thanks to the Band of Rivals. This is yourlocalnote.com. We're gonna just wrap things up with Face of Narcissus off the album The Ladder, The Ghost, and The Water.
I saw my face in the water, and vanity consumed me. Oh, mother dear, save me from myself before I lose my way in my golden locks, blue eyes. I've been searching for beauty within. Here it lies on the surface, the common narcissist. I saw her face on the shore, staring at me. Oh, she was fair, not as fair as the my golden locks. Blue eyes are fair, it's in my ego. Now she dies for the purpose. Love for narcissists.